I hate this book. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today's video I have actually been looking forward to filming for quite a while. Me and my friends have decided that we are going to have a brunch here in just a few days where we are going to get together and swap out our books that we are planning to get rid of. This is something that really excites me because I do have some books on my shelf that I have read and I don't plan to ever reread them, or I read them and I don't like them, or I have them on my shelf and I don't plan to ever read them. So I'm going to show you guys what these books are that I am planning to unhaul, and then I'm going to show you guys when we go to brunch here in a couple days and show you what books we swap out. Just do a little vlog while we're there, if you will. Maybe they will enjoy them more than me if they're ones that I didn't really like. I know me and some of my friends do have different book tastes. Sometimes I will read a book and think it's 2 stars, while my other friends will read it and think it's 5. So I am excited to see what books they bring and to see what we all go home with. I have a stack of books right here off camera, and I'm going to show you guys what they are, what each book is, and tell you why it is that I am going to unhaul it. And then we will go to the brunch. I'll take you guys along with me there. So the first book is City of Bones. This is the, I think, original cover. I only have book 1 in this cover. I haven't even read City of Bones or any of these Cassandra Clare books, but I am hoping that someone else will want this, or maybe they've been looking for this book. I have another copy of City of Bones. I got it back at Christmas from some of my friends. I wanted all of the spines that match, and I still need to read the book, so hopefully I can do that soon. And until then, we will be getting rid of the OG cover. Then we have a little, I think it's like autobiography, I think is what it's called. This is Finding Freedom. It's about Harry and Meghan and their whole messy ordeal and like their story together, I think. I bought this because I was very into at the moment reading autobiography type books, and really thought that this would be a fun read to catch up on their little drama, but I haven't picked it up in I think like 2 years. So we're gonna take it off the shelf. Maybe somebody else will reach for it. If not, this might be one that I am donating if nobody else wants to take it off of my hands. Okay, the next book is one that I actually thrifted. And when I thrifted this book, I was so excited to find it. Then I started to read it and I was kind of bored. That would be Dear Evan Hansen. This book is based off of the musical. It's not like where there was the book first and then the musical came after, from what I understand. This is a book adaptation of the musical. I think I got 140-ish pages into this, and I was just like, maybe I should just watch the musical. Maybe I should just watch the movie. Because I've heard the songs from the musical, and they're really good. I mean, Ben Platt is who sings in that, but the book, I think maybe because it was lacking what the musical element adds, just wasn't doing it for me, and I don't see myself picking this back up. Even though I'm sure it's a really good story because people rave about the musical, I'm just I don't think I'm going to actually read this. Okay, the next book is one that I bought for I think 75 cents at a library sale. This is The Lady Has a Past by Amanda Quick. I picked this up because they had a couple copies of it, and they do still have a couple copies of it at my library. And I know people do like Amanda Quick's books, so I grabbed this thinking, oh, I'll read an Amanda Quick book, and I just can't bring myself to pick it up. I think it's just not something that appeals to me. It almost feels like, and this is, I hope this doesn't sound bad. Do you ever like go on vacation and someone's left a few books on the bookshelf and you like look to see what they are, but like none of them really appeal to you, but you want to read, so you grab one? This feels like what you would grab. It feels like a book that you probably wouldn't read unless you're an Amanda Quick fan or you're on vacation and you're trying to find something, anything to read. I hope that doesn't sound too mean. That's not my intention. I just don't think I'm going to read this book. So I'm unhauling it. If no one in my friend group wants it, I will probably donate it or I will list it on Facebook Marketplace and see if anyone wants to grab this one up. The next one is a book that I actually really enjoyed. I just don't plan on ever rereading it. I've even loaned it out to my friend Savannah and she read it. So it's been read through a couple of times, and that is Counting the Cost. This one is by Jill Duggar. It's a memoir, kind of about her struggles growing up in her family, growing up on TV, and kind of some of the messy behind the scenes stuff that was going on with her family. So I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed learning about all of that because I watched 19 Kids and Counting growing up. I'm one of those people that a TLC show would absolutely draw me in. Absolutely. Like this one, so 19 Kids and Counting, Little People, Big World. What were some more? The ones that were like about people who didn't know they were pregnant. I don't know why I was a TLC kid. Is that is that lore? Is that something I should be embarrassed about? Anyways, I'm hoping somebody will read this. Somebody will take it off my hands because I don't think I'm going to read it again. It was an enjoyable read. And maybe I'm jumping on a bandwagon here by getting rid of this next book, but It Ends With Us. Okay, here's the thing. I did not hate It Ends With Us when I read it. I had not read a ton of books at the time that I read this, but I had also not read really any books like this where you get the plot twist and you don't see what happens coming. I hadn't read really anything like that. And then I read this and I was like, oh my gosh, that was really, emotionally impactful for me. So I rolled into that and I read It Starts With Us, which I'm just now realizing this book is so extremely light and this one is so heavy. I wonder what the difference is. That's odd. Oh, well, I guess it's a little bit bigger. I read these books. I'm not going to read them again. I don't own any other Colleen Hoover books, so I feel like they kind of stick out on my shelf. And while I did enjoy the first one, I didn't, love the second one. So I'm going to see if anybody wants these maybe as a set. And then they don't have to, spend money on them. They can just, take them and read them if they want, pass them on to the next person. I think I've only ever read one other Colleen Hoover book and I didn't like it. I got it from my local library back when I was trying to get into reading, and I don't see myself ever going back in to Colleen Hoover. I know that she has Verity, the movie, coming out at some point, and that Anne Hathaway is going to be in it. I did not read that book, but I had a friend kind of spoil it for me, and I think I might watch the movie if I'm being completely honest, but I don't think I will be reading it or any other Colleen Hoover books, so I'm going to get rid of these. I told you guys about my love hate relationship with Allie Hazelwood. I keep trying with her books, and every time I read one, I'm expecting it to be really good because I hear really great things about it, and then I just don't love it. I've read, I think, 4 or 5, maybe even 6 of her books. Gosh, it might be more. I've read a lot of her books, and I've only found 2 that I really, really liked. So, because of that, I am getting rid of Love on the Brain. This is a book that I got a couple years ago, and it took me a while to read it. I finally read it last year, and it just felt meh. So, since I don't feel any particular way about it, and since it seems that that's how I feel about a lot of Allie Hazelwood books, I am getting rid of this one. I am going to hold on to Love Theoretically. I have that one on my shelf, and since I did enjoy that book, I'm going to keep it. But this one is going to go, which I do have a friend who has not read this one, but she owns the other Allie Hazelwood books, and she's going to be at the brunch, so I'm kind of thinking she might be the one to take this one home. We will see. It's not a bad book. I just didn't feel one way or another about it. So I don't feel inclined to keep it. Talking about love-hate relationships, let's now talk about hate relationships. I hate this book with every fiber of my soul. And honestly, if anyone tries to take this off my hands, I will probably give them a whole spiel warning them about why they should not read it and why they should not take it home. And I know that sounds counterintuitive. counterproductive, whatever. I just can't ever recommend that somebody read this book. And that is A Little Life. This book destroyed me, and not in like a good, oh, I just needed to cry kind of way. Like, I just read Sunrise on the Reaping, and that book destroyed me. I will never get over that book. I will cry about it right now if we talk about it too much. This book disturbed me, depressed me, hurt me in ways that I can't talk about on YouTube. Honestly, I don't think I can talk about the things that happened in this book on YouTube or in any other online social platform. It was traumatic for me as the reader, especially for the characters involved. So, I cannot ever recommend that someone read this book. But with that said, I don't want it on my shelf. If somebody is dead set on reading this book, they can take it and they can read it and they can deal with the consequences. But this book actually put me in a depression, and that's the warning that I'm going to be handing this book over with. Have fun being depressed, because, babe, this book destroyed me, and I really would hate to see it do the same to you. I'm not keeping it. Next, we have a book that I actually received as an ARC. And because it is an ARC, I cannot sell it. The book itself is pretty good. I think some of my friends would enjoy it, especially because it takes place on a beach. We live by the beach, and I think someone would really enjoy it as a summertime read. This is Just Some Stupid Love Story. I read this book, and I think I gave it 3.5 stars. Like I said, I received it as an ARC, and you cannot sell ARCs. It actually says literally right here on the front, not for sale. If somebody wants to take this, they can, and they can read it and have a fun little time with it. And I actually only have one more left in the stack, and that is Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter. This is a book that I had so many high hopes for because I love my young adult Lynn Painter books. This one just fell so extremely, incredibly flat for me. I think I gave it either, did I give it 2 stars? I gave this either 2 or 2.5 stars. I cannot remember, but I stand by that rating. By the time we got to the end of this book, I did not want the couple to be together. I'm not going to discourage them from reading it because the things that bothered me in this book may not bother them. So, it was a cute premise, a cute plot. I just didn't love it, and I don't want to keep it on my shelf anymore. Okay, so that is 11 books that I'm going to be taking with us to our brunch here in a couple days. I will come back to filming when we are going to brunch, and I'll try to get a couple clips while we are there, and then I will let you guys know what I come home with. I think this is a really cute idea. I think this is something that a lot of people should start doing, because a lot of the time we buy books, we don't enjoy the books, and then they just sit there on our shelves. And I was telling some of my friends a couple of days ago or a couple weeks ago that I am at some point going to get rid of every book that I own that I do not love. If I read a book that is currently on my physical TBR and I don't love it, I'm going to get rid of it at some point, because while I do want to have my own little personal library one day, I would love to say this is my own personal library and I have loved and enjoyed every single one of these books. I don't want to say, and these are all the ones that I hate, because then, who really wants to read those books? Not very many people. So, yeah, this is the beginning of that. This is me getting rid of some of these books that I don't want on my shelf, freeing up some space for sure. Because if I come back home with any of these, they are being donated or sold on Marketplace. I am not keeping them. I've freed up some space on my shelf for things that I'm actually going to enjoy. So let's go to brunch.
You paid for it, so it's yours now. I don't want it. So she's trying to curse.
You both literally said it should never even have been written.
It should not have ever been written. It was depressed. When you're reading, oh, I don't like that kind of book. It took her. What about the Duggar family? I read this and thought it was super, super interesting. Really? And then my friend borrowed it and she thought it was really good. It is interesting. Yeah. This one I have not read. I got it at a library sale.
I think I've read it. Let me see.
And I know people do. That's why I got it. Yeah. Oh wait, I have one more.
Okay, everybody, I am back from our little girls' brunch that we had this morning, and we did do our book swap. I know you guys saw a couple clips from that. I am so excited about some of these books that I brought home. I do want to show you the books that I did not get rid of first. So these are ones that I'm going to either donate or list on Marketplace and try to sell. First off, we have A Little Life. You guys know my feelings on this book, and everyone else at brunch this morning knows my feelings on this book. So no one wanted it. And honestly, good for them. Good for them. I don't want them to have to read that. But then we also have our Colleen Hoover books. It starts with us and it ends with us. So everybody has the same kind of feeling towards Colleen Hoover books. We don't need to be triggering ourselves. We don't need to be reading about that if not necessary. Then we have ooh, The Lady Has a Past. This book, actually, my friend Brittany, her mom was with us at brunch, and she said she really likes Amanda Quick books. And so she actually told me I should read this one. So I'll have to give it a look. She said that if I like Julia Quinn, which is who wrote Bridgerton, that I would like this. So that made me a little bit more intrigued than I initially was. So I might have to come back to that one. Then we have the OG cover of City of Bones. And this is the last one that I brought home with me. So I brought home 5 of the 11 books that I took with me to the brunch this morning. And now I will show you the books that I brought home that I traded for. First, we have Funny You Should Ask. This is by Alyssa Sussman. I've heard this book is cute, that it's funny. I really love the pink cover, so I will be giving this a chance. I'm actually really excited about it. I don't know too much about the book, but the cover is adorable. And then we have A Simple Favor, which, if I'm not mistaken, isn't this the book that the movie Blake Lively is based on? Is it Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick? I'm gonna need to fact check myself. Because if it's the movie I'm thinking it is, then I might have seen it. But I'm still intrigued because I know people enjoyed this book. There's a really bad storm going on right now, hence why my hair looks the way it is and I have like makeup smudged under my eyes. But there's thunder. I'm hoping with the microphone you guys won't be able to hear that. Back to the books. I also traded from my friend Brittany these 2 books. They're in a series. This is The 5 Crowns of Okrith. She said it is a like fae fantasy series, and this is book 1 and 2. I don't know how many books. Oh wait, there is a third one. So I guess I can read 1 and 2 and see how I'm feeling about the series. And then if I want to go into the third one, looks like it is called The Rogue Crown. So we have The High Mountain Court, The Witch's Blade, and The Rogue Crown. I'm a fantasy girl. We know this. We've said it. So I will have to try these ones out too. And then we have the best thing, if you don't mind me saying. Brittany had 3 of the 10 Addicted series books. So she had Addicted to You. She knew that I wanted these. So as soon as she pulled them out of her bag, she just handed them straight to me. But something I'm really excited about in owning these is that they have the exclusive bonus content inside. So those are things that I have not read yet because I read these books on Kindle. I still have a couple books to go at the time that I'm filming this, but I know I'll at least be getting one of these books read in April. So I also got Ricochet from the same series. again with the exclusive bonus content. And then she had Hot House Flower, which I think that we're missing a book in here somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. I think my other microphone died. I will need to charge that. I was trying to say that the Hot House Flower also has the exclusive bonus content in here, so I'm very excited to go through and read those bonus chapters. I had so much fun getting to see the girls and getting to swap books. This is an amazing idea. I think it was Brittany who came up with this, if I'm not mistaken. So props to her, saving us all money and getting books that we don't have to pay for. But now I have to figure out what I am going to do with these 5 books that I did not get rid of today. But I mean, I took 11. I got rid of 6 of them, and I came home with I think 8. So it was a good time. I am very happy with my haul, especially these. Again, I'm in love with this series, but thank you guys so much for going with us to brunch today. Thank you so much for watching my video. I love you all, and I will see you in my next video.